So June 16th, Larvitar, Community Day Pokemon. Get mad about it if you wanna. It's gonna be a thing, and it's been confirmed that it will be the Smack Down, the fast move, rock type fast move. And if you frequent the Ryan Swag live streams, you probably are thinking, Ryan Swag, you've covered Smack Down Tyranitar before. What are you doing covering it again? Well, this time we know we're actually going to get it, right? And it's confirmed to be on Tyanitar, so that's a really good starting point. And now we've got Game Master data that's showing it to be a Rock Throw clone. So we've got a lot more to work off of to get a better picture of what we're going to be dealing with in the future. Shiny Tyranitar, right? So like the shiny Larvitar is like more lime green, right? And the shiny Pupitar is like a purple. And then Tyranitar, its shiny form, is like a sand colored, kind of like a tan sand going on. But like, thing that blew my mind, I popped into Holly's live stream, the Pokemon Master Holly. I did not pop into that live stream, I popped into the recording of it. She was educating us all on some like Tyranitar facts. Not like Pokemon Go in-depth metagame stuff, right? That's what you come to the Swagman for, but like, she knew some like trivia I did not know about Tyranitar, which was shocking to me because Tyranitar is actually one of my faves. Pointed out that Tyranitar's like belly, like its stomach, that's the Pupitar. Yeah, I get the pupa, and the larva, and it grows into a freaking dinosaur. We all know that about Tyranitar, but I never made the connection between this ugly little friend, and then this. Yeah, and then on the shiny sprite for Tyranitar, its little tummy there, that's purple. So it's like theory confirmed even further. It stays purple. And then like, see these things here? Yeah, Holly was pointing this out to me in her video. It's like, dang. So in my previous live stream, I talked about how on SmackDown, what I was showing you guys about Tyranitar was like, here's all the different flavors of SmackDown it could have, right? Well, Bioweapon recently made an article, part of the Game Press crew, on the history of rock types. Well, he took that idea and took it to a whole nother freaking level. Actually, a lot of stuff that I was working on to cover tonight, he did. So, instead of just pulling up the same exact numbers from the same exact sources, I just, get that copy-paste action layer to confirm. I asked Bioweapon if it was okay if I used his information. Here's me messaging Bioweapon, and I'm like, hey Bioweapon, is it okay if I share your contour graph in my live stream? And he said, OFC, be my guest. Because when you use people's information that isn't yours, that you're not the progenitor of, it's always polite to ask permission first and to, credit them properly. Unlike some people we know in the universe, right? And that's the last I'll speak on that for a while. So I showed you some select simulations of some fast move compositions that stood out to me, and then put a rock type on them and put it on Tyranitar. Well, freaking Bioweapon did every single fast move. Every single one. The, pale yellow line here, this is Golem's DPS. Then each line going up is another 5% better DPS than Golem. And each little square is an existing fast move. So this one right here, that's Razor Leaf, that's Rock Smash. All these little specklets here that are above this pale line basically means that is Tyranitar being better than Golem if SmackDown ends up paralleling any of these fast moves. So it's like Tyranitar is basically always going to be better than Golem. It'd have to be like extra bad, like Takedown. Takedown's a extra bad fast move. So if it's that bad, if Niantic's watching and they're like, well, SwagTips said we gotta make it like Takedown so Tyranitar ain't OP. Well then I'm sorry world, but it was gonna happen anyways. Its swag is over 9,000. It's too good. SmackDown can only be good for Tyranitar, so get hype. So King Ive put out a tweet a while back. If you don't know King Ive, he does a lot of like challenge solos and challenge low man clears on raids. Well, he put out that if Tyranitar gets SmackDown, that, Ho-Oh duos with a weather boost would become a reality with Tyranitar. I mean, we're getting the community day after Ho-Oh leaves, so, oh well. But if that's a thing, then that could be a thing. So I ran it on Go Battle Sim myself. Out the weather boost, it wasn't happening. But with the weather boost, it was for some, not all, right? So that's something to keep in mind. And it does look pretty tight still. And this is the Smackdown we have in the current Game Master. So this is the Rock Throw clone. And yeah, it looks like we get pretty dang close. So on the not Solar Beam simulations, of course, right? Just the power of Smackdown Tyranitar. Nothing else can get this close to duoing a Ho-Oh. But yeah, here's what all these different rock types would look like with Smackdown. Yeah, so it's a 12.569, right? Comprehensive DPS for that Rock Throw Stone Edge Golem. And it looks like Kabutops and Armaldo be swagging on it with their own Smackdowns. Well, the Adventure Week event started, and we're not seeing Smackdown on these evolutions. But if Smackdown became a possibility for them, then yeah, they'd start to edge on Golem. They'd swag on him a bit. We got Omastar, and we already know that Omastar is technically slightly better than Golem based on the matchups and all that kind of stuff, but nobody can get Rock Throw because legacy moves. But I got Smackdown to be pretty swag. And I already covered this in my previous stream, but Rhydon with the Smackdown, pretty dang swag too. And then of course Tyranitar, the indisputed rock type king with the Smackdown, mega swag right there. So I'm pretty stoked for this guy. And yeah, Bioweapon, I wouldn't have done this because I'm not cool, right? But he put in some stuff for Shuckle and 2 DPS. So I guess it really wouldn't help out Shuckle that much. That's still pretty awful. So this does bring in some like controversy. Alolan Golem, Rock Electric, was coming in hot, being a kind of parallel Golem, and if it got rock type attacks, it could actually have some niche advantages over Golem based on its different set of resistances. And so I was pretty hyped on that guy being like a new great rock type attacker, but then Smackdown Tyranitar, boom! Like Alolan Golem, not even here yet, and is definitely gonna have significantly less swag than that guy, right? And then as far as like rock types to come, it's freaking Tyranitar. Like Tyranitar is basically like has the monopoly on dark type attacks. Like who's gonna front on him? Now I know Darkrai, right, might come in and have a bit more DPS, but that TDO though, which Darkrai is kind of glassy, right? Tyranitar is made of Swage. Swage cannot be broken, except by like Focus Blast or something. Yeah, so now Tyranitar, what, is he gonna be monopolizing on the rock type attacks? Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Well, maybe it's not that bad. Yeah, so we got some future simulations. We got Rampardos. And so he's got huge attack, really huge attack stat. And if he gets a double rock moveset, which he has the possibility of getting with Smackdown, with Rock Slide, Stone Edge, Ancient Power, Rock Tomb, any of those charge moves, like the good and the ugly, is still gonna beat out Tyranitar for DPS or comprehensive DPS. Now that TDO, that bulkiness, isn't swagging, so it's sort of like the Darkrai argument, where it's like Darkrai can out DPS Tyranitar, maybe depending on the moveset, but that TDO though, and if you're looking at that TDO, if Rhyperior, the evolution of Rhydon, another Gen 4 Pokemon that we might see in the near future, if that guy gets Smackdown and Rock Slide, then it'd be swagging on the Smackdown Stone Edge Tyranitar for DPS and TDO. But if it gets any other fast move, it won't be swagging as hard on the DPS, but the TDO is looking pretty good. Tyranitar may be the king, right, of both units combined, but I think Rampardos and Rhyperior definitely offer a hope for a higher TDO, kind of just as good DPS option, and then a Super Glass Cannon option. And when I say Super Glass Cannon, I mean that's 18.7 comprehensive DPS. Tyranitar is like at maybe 15, and like a 1 DPS advantage is like freaking huge. So that's some huge DPS right there. I'm actually really curious to see how Rampardos happens. So Tyranitar, swagging hard with the rock type attacks, but it's only going to outclass every single rock type attacker for only so long, right? You know, until it comes back in the game with its Mega Evolution. If Mega Tyranitar happens, and Megas end up keeping the moveset, or maybe they even get a better moveset, well then, looks like Mega Tyranitar will probably swag on Rampardos and beat out that Rhyperior. Oh dude, he even did a Rock Wrecker? I don't know what he used for Rock Wrecker. I imagine it's a better than Rock Slide attacks. Mega Tyranitar. I mean, okay, Rampardos has like 0.2 more comprehensive DPS, but that's like 500 freaking more TDO. Like, who's the king? Tyranitar. Is it a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I like having variety, right? But I also love to see my favorite Pokemon, Tyranitar, being the best forever. So there's two conflicting ideas here in my mind. Let me know what you guys think. Super Mega Swag, Mega Tyranitar, or maybe they should trim him back and give other rock types a chance to be cool, right? And I think that's all I gotta say on this guy. Oh, dude, I forgot about the Regice and the Blissey simulations. I wanted to go with that earlier. Ryan Swag, come on, man. This is using all of Regice's movesets in the current Game Master. So that includes the super effective Earthquake, and that includes the doubly super effective Focus Blast, right? And then the neutrally effective Blizzard. So even with those two other charge moves, bringing Tyranitar down in TDO, it's still a top option. Yeah, like Machamp, Flareon, Hariyama, it's in that triangle with Smackdown against the future Regice Raid. You up against the Focus Blast, whip out your Blast Burn, Charizards, and Moltres. You against that Blizzard, well, you got Entei swagging in, and who's this? Smackdown Tyranitar, no longer getting hit super effective. So definitely going to be a top boy for this future raid. You know, I wonder if Tyranitar could survive a Focus Blast, because like the Regis, they have such a low attack stat. And then I also simulated it against Blissey, and I found this to be pretty interesting. So I just tacked it on to my clear weather data that I used for Blast Burn Charizard, and then I put in PC, Partly Cloudy Tyranitar, with that Smackdown. And so this is against Zen Headbutt Dazzling Gleam Blissey, not Tyranitar's best Blissey matchup because it's Dark type, super effective hit by the Fairy, right? But if you're against Hyper Beam or Psychic, Tyranitar will be swagging even harder with that TDO. But this is Tyranitar's less good matchup, right? And it's like kind of tied with Entei with the Smackdown without the weather boost. And when they both get the weather boost, believe it or not, they still stay like on top of each other. Still really good. So when we get Smackdown Tyranitar, assuming that Smackdown doesn't get grievously nerfed in some disgusting way, Tyranitar is probably going to be the best Partly Cloudy Blissey counter. Now, if you need the speed, you got the Machamp. He's always going to be there for you. But if you want some more tankiness, yeah, dude, Smackdown Tyranitar is going to be smacking down Blissey as good as a clear weather Entei would. So that's really freaking cool. So I'm excited for my boy Tyranitar. Sorry for people that don't like Tyranitar being OP. I love Tyranitar being OP. It's my favorite thing. So that was a clip from my live stream SwagTips. SwagTips streams every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time on the Twitch channel SwagTips. If you like this content and you want to see more like it, then make sure to subscribe to the Swagman. And if you have any questions or any suggestions, then comment below, let me know, and I will get back to you. I am a very small channel. And as I mentioned, a lot of this information can be found in the History of Rock Types article on GamePress. Link in the description. SwagTips. GamePress writer. I know the guy that wrote the article, so I don't know why I had to mention that.